the top of the table over in La Liga, that's right, as Barcelona now reign supreme over the nearest and dearest. That is, of course, Real Madrid. But what will happen this coming match day? We're going to get to that more next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today we're taking a look at match number 8, that's right, Octo, of course, over in La Liga, and we'll get to it in a second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe. You want some shop for Blackburn Rovers, La Liga, world football. We're going to all hear under one Rooski, that's right. Real Madrid shit the bed against their old club there, Atlético, last weekend. Opened up the door now for Barcelona to take over control. Will they be there? Will they ever be caught? We'll take a look at all of it in a second. Big shout out to the members and the patrons. You know who you are, but of course, get involved, subscribe, and smash the little likey. So we're going to jump in the deep end, have a look what went down this past weekend, and of course bring you back up to date with the Superbru and much, much more than that. So here we go, recapping the results. My picks are on the left, the real deal's on the right. 0-0, that was already in the bank because it was a double match week last week over in Spain. Getafe picked up a 1-1 draw against Levante, got that one spot on the nose. Meanwhile, Atlético Madrid did beat Real Madrid 5-2. Who saw that bad boy coming? Not me. Mallorca with a 1-0 win over Alavés. I went with a 2-1 win. And Villarreal picking up a 1-0 win over Athletic Club. I went with a 2-0 win myself. That's pretty much, I think, where the good results for me. Then Sevilla, cheeky 1-0 away win over Vallecano. Elche with a 2-1 win over Celta Vigo. Barcelona did beat Sociedad 2-1. I went with a 4-0. Betis picking up a 2-0 win over Osasuna. I went with a 2-1 win. And Real Oviedo, cheeky 2-1 away win against Valencia. So the table, my friends, looks like this. Barcelona are top of the pops, 19 points for them, yet to taste defeat. Real Madrid are in second spot with 18 points. Villarreal are up to third now, 16 points. And Elche doing A-OK, also yet to taste defeat. Goodness gracious me. Going down as Girona, it's Mallorca, and it is my boys at Sociedad. So across the German division, my team's doing shit. Across the Spanish division, my team's doing shit. Across the English Championship, my team's doing shit. Everybody I support right now is doing dog shit. But what about the Superbruski? Well, of course, we're going to give you an update right here, right now. Alrighty, the situation over in the Superbruski. Well done, O'Connor, picking up a gold medal there. 13 points for him. I'm up there in second place, which has done me a big boost in regards to the overall leaderboard. And Barcelonista up there in third with 9.5. If you see a name in there like Zip Zip or Raymond Redditon or Xandus, get in there and smash the old likey, of course. I do appreciate the likes. They do wonders for the channel, and the channel needs your help, guys. Currently top of the pops, though, it is Finley. He's in top spot. Jimmy Watton's in second spot. Dream Marley's in third. I'm all the way down into, I just saw myself, into 13th. Unlucky for some space. Up 2 movers to that position. But that is the situation over there, of course. But we are still way lots of points on the agenda over in the Superbru. So still get involved, still get part of it. It is free, nothing gained, nothing lost, all that kind of good stuff. But anyway, we are going into the next round of games, and these are those. That's right. They're coming at you this coming weekend, and we all kick it off at the Estadio El Sadar. That's right. Osasuna taking on Getafe, coming at you. 13th place, Osasuna, 7 points for them. Up against Getafe, who are in 8th with 11 points, of course. But they're coming into this winless in 3, both sides, of course. And they played 40 times since 1999, and 9 wins Osasuna. There's been 17 wins for Getafe. There's been 14 draws. They last played at this venue. It was a 2-1 win for Getafe back in March 2025. Getafe on the back of successive 1-1 scorelines. Meanwhile, Osasuna on the back of that 2-0 loss to Real Betis. Do we have odds? We do have odds. Odds are in favour of Osasuna. As have I. I'm going with the home side on this one. 1-0 win. Not big, not hairy, but just enough to get over the line. Real Oviedo, they're taking on, they're going to be taking on Levante. That's right. That's coming at you on Saturday. That's, of course, the 4th of October. Oviedo coming into this on the back of a cheeky little win themselves this past weekend. They currently find themselves in 14th, up against Levante, who are 15th with 5 points, of course. This is the Carlos Tatiere. Oviedo, managed by Vico Panuvic, coming into this, 2 wins the last 6. Up against Levante, Julian Calero, just 1 win in 6. They've taken on each other 12 times since 2001. 3 wins Oviedo, 4 wins Levante. There's been 5 draws, of course. Coming into this, they last played at this venue back in April 2025 in the Segunda Division. It was a 1-0 win for Oviedo, who are unbeaten against Levante over the last 4 matches, including back-to-back home wins. Unbeaten against Levante over the last 4 games at this venue. Oviedo, though, picking up a 2-1 win over Valencia at the Mestalla most recently, and Levante with that 1-1 scoreline against Getafe. Their bookies for this one, they'll go with Oviedo. It is a tight one, though. Could go either. A bit of a coin flip. I've gone just the 1 goal between them, and I've gone with 2-1 win for Oviedo. Meanwhile, Girona taking on Valencia. Of course, that's coming up at Estadio Monteverde. Girona under Michel, they are down 20th right now, 3 points for them, but they're winless in the last 8 matches. Up against Valencia under Carlos Cobahan, not the best bit of form. They are 12th right now, 8 points for them, and just 1 win in 4 matches. They've taken on each other 10 times since 2018. 4 wins Girona, 5 wins Valencia. There's been 1 draw. They last drew at this venue way back in March 2025. It was a 1-1 scoreline. Coming into this, Valencia are on the back of that 2-1 loss to Oviedo. Girona drawing with Espanyol most recently. But yeah, they are the draw kings. 3 of the last 4 have been draws. Bookies for this one, they go with Girona. But I still got a little bit of hope, a little bit of belief in Carlos Cobahan. Going to go with a 1-0 win for the away side on this one. Athletic Bilbao, they're going to be taking on Mallorca. That's coming at you, the San Mams. Bilbao and Ernesto Valverde are struggling right now, winless in at least the last 6, and that includes 5 defeats in the last 6. They sit 10th with 10 points. Up against Mallorca under Jagario Areste, they're down at 19th with 5 points. But they do come into this on the back of a win, that's right. They played each other 47 times since 1997. 20 wins Bilbao, 14 wins Mallorca. There's been 13 draws. They last played at the San Mams 1-1. In fact, it was back-to-back draws between these two sides. If you look at the last 5 in the league, it's been 4 out of the last 5 have ended up all square between these two sides. Bilbao, though, on the back of that 1-0 loss to Villarreal. Mallorca on the back of that 1-0 win over Alavés. The bookies' odds will go with Bilbao. Massive favourites for this one. The form book doesn't say so, though. We're going to go with Atletico Bilbao with the W. And, of course, get back to winning ways and maybe, just maybe, start their season right now. Of course, next up, Real Madrid taking on Villarreal. Game of the day. Santiago Bernabeu is the venue. Xabi Alonso is the coach. Sitting in second right now. 18 points for them. Winning 5 of the last 6. Up against Villarreal, they've won 3 on the bounce. Of course, they sit third. 16 points to their name. They have played Real Madrid 51 times since 1998. 28 wins for Real Madrid. 6 wins for Villarreal. There's been 17 draws. They last played at the Bernabeu as a 2-0 win for Real Madrid back in October 2024. Of course, Real Madrid did the double of a Villarreal last season. Goals galore between these two in the last 4 matches. What are we looking at? 8, 10, 12, 16, 17, 18 goals, I think, in the last 4 between these two sides. So we're averaging just shy of 5 goals a game between these two sides here. Real Madrid, though, on the back of that 5-0 win at Carriat in the Champions League. Villarreal taking on Juventus tonight in the Champions League. But, of course, coming into on the back of that win over Bilbao. Bookies' odds for this one, they'll go with Real Madrid. Of course they will. They should do. They're at home. They should win it. 3-1 winners as well. Let's go into Sunday, and it's Deportivo Alavés. They're going to be taking on Elche, that's right. Coming at you over at the Estadio de Metroza. Alavés under Eduardo Coudet sit 11th right now, 8 points for them, but they're winless in the last 3, just 1 win in the last 6. Up against Elche, and 1 defeat in the last 6, they sit 4th with 13 points. They've had a fantastic start to the season under Ida Saraiba. They played 20 times since 1997, 9 wins Alavés, 7 wins Elche. There's been 4 draws. They last played over at Alavés, 1-0 win as it was back in October 2021. It's been a few years, guys. Alavés losing to Mallorca most recently. Elche picking up a 2-1 win over Celta Vigo. And of course, right here, right now, the bookies are going with Deportivo Alavés, but Elche's form has been good. Gone with a 1-1 scoreline here. Elche, of course, causing some headaches amongst the bookies in the early parts of the season. Sevilla, they're taking on Barcelona. Another game of the round right here, right now, on October the 5th, coming out of the Ramon Sanchez Piguan. Matias Almeida is the coach, 9th for the table, 10 points for them, just 1 defeat in the last 5. Up against Barcelona, Hansi Flick, they've won 5 on their bounce. They sit top of the table with 19 points. They've taken on Sevilla 75 times since 1994. 13 wins. Sevilla, 48 wins for Barcelona. There's been 14 draws. They last played over at Sevilla. 4-1 winners it was for Barcelona, who did the double over Sevilla last season, scoring 9 goals between those 2 games. Sevilla, though, picking up a 1-0 win over Vallecano most recently. Barcelona on the back of a 2-1 win over Sociedad. They're in action tonight against PSG in the Champions League. Bookies will go with Barcelona. Of course they will. I will as well. Be nonsense not to at the moment. 2-1 winners. Tight game, though, between the two sides. Espanyol taking on Rayo Betis. That's coming at you over the RCD Stadium. Espanyol under Manuel Gonzalez at 7th right now with 12 points. But the winners in the last 3 up against Real Betis and Manuel Pellegrini, who are 6th with 12 points, just 1 defeat in the last 6. Now, they've taken on each other 53 times since 1994. We have 19 wins Espanyol, 16 wins for Real Betis. There's been 18 draws. They last played at this venue. It was a 2-1 win for Real Betis, who are unbeaten in the last 3 against Espanyol. When we say unbeaten, they've won 3 on the spin. Espanyol picking up a 2-0 win over Osasuna. They are in action to this. Are they in action tonight? actually in action tomorrow night against Ludogorets Razgrad in the European competition, of course. Bookies odds for this one. Espanyol got the edge. They do. Real Betis, strong side as well. Going to go with a draw here, right down the bloody middle. Next up, it is my boys, Real Sociedad, taking on Rayo Vallecano, coming out to the Real Arena. Sergio Francisco is the coach there, sitting in 18th with 5 points, just one win in the last 6. Up against Vallecano, winners in the last 5, of course. They sit in 16th with 5 points. They've taken on Sociedad 43 times since 1993. 16 wins for the host, 14 wins for the visitors. There's been 13 draws. They last played at the Real Arena. 3-1 winners it was for Sociedad. That's back in the Copa del Rey back in January 2025. But in the league, Vallecano are unbeaten against Sociedad over the last 4, picking up 1 win and 3 draws. Sociedad losing to Barcelona most recently. Vallecano losing to Sevilla. Bookies will go with Sociedad still. I don't know where that's going to come from, but I've got to believe in my boys as well. 2-1 winners. Sociedad get the W and hopefully get their season up and running. And finally, we head into Celta Vigo. They're taking on Atlético Madrid also on Sunday, October the 5th. At the Estadio Baliros. Celta Vigo are 17th right now. Claudio Giraldes, they with 5 points, but they're winless in the last 8. Up against Madrid under Diego Simeone, 3 wins on the bounce, just 1 defeat in the last 6. They sit 5th right now with 12 points. They've taken on Celta Vigo 53 times since 1993. 12 wins for the host, 29 wins for the visitors. There's been 12 draws, including a draw last time they played at the Riyadh Arena. It was a 1-1 scoring back in February, but the last time they played at this venue, it was a 1-0 win for Atlético, who are unbeaten against Celta Vigo over the last 6, winning 5 and drawing just that once. Celta Vigo, though, picking up a 2-1 loss to Elche. Atlético Madrid with that 5-1 win over Frankfurt in the old Champions League. In fact, they scored 13 goals in the last 3 games combined, Atlético Madrid, and they expected to win this game and expected to win it quite handsomely as well. I've gone with a 1-0 win, just a 1-0 win. And of course, if I'm right, that completes my pack. And then, of course, the table will look a little bit like this. Of course, it'll be Barcelona top, Real Madrid 2nd, Villarreal 3rd, Atlético Madrid in 4th. Going down, Girona, Mallorca, and Celta Vigo, of course. But don't forget to get your predictions in, of course. We head into another international break this weekend upon conclusion of these games. So, of course, I'll bring you back up to date when we return in about 2 weeks' time. But until then, subscribe, smash the like. I'll see you soon whenever I return. But until then, I am done.